Welcome to Accelerate My Practice. So glad you could join us today. Today we're broadcasting from outside just because we thought it'd be something fun and different, and you just got to mix it up. And it's a gorgeous sunny day. And really, look at the view you have in the background. Kind of awesome. So what I wanted to address today was the Sirona and Dentsply Merger. It's creating a ton of buzz in dentistry. Everyone's all excited about it, whether it be good, be bad, whatever the case is. And I don't really have opinions as to whether or not it's going to be good or bad. What I have opinions on is when I look at game changers in an industry, I see the possibility that this is in fact one of those instances where it is a complete game changer. And the example I want to use to compare and contrast this is Blockbuster. And I'm going to grab a little data here. But what's interesting to me when I look at Blockbuster is if you go back into 1998, Blockbuster was a $3.9 billion company. They dominated the entire movie rental business. And Netflix debuted in 1999. And at that point, of course, nobody's heard of Netflix. Nobody even cares. So in 2000, Blockbuster has an opportunity to buy Netflix, and they decline it. And at that point, they were going to buy it for $50 million and didn't. You fast forward 7 years later, Netflix had their 1 billionth rental, and the then new CEO of Blockbuster came out with this quote, which was, "I've been frankly confused by the fascination that everybody has with Netflix. Netflix doesn't really have or do anything we can't or don't already do ourselves." And you know, it's fascinating to me to look at how that whole story ended. And of course, it did not end well for Blockbuster. 2 years later, bankruptcy, they're gone. Netflix dominates the entire industry. So I see game-changing opportunities that take place, and I potentially see one with this Dentsply-Sirona merger. Now, not that it's going to put anyone out of business, but I think what it does is it combines the largest dental equipment manufacturer in Sirona with the largest dental supply manufacturer in the world. You put those two horses together, you're going to have some amazing things come out of it, which is pretty cool. So I don't want to look at it from a place of scarcity. I want to look at it from a place of opportunity. Now the question becomes, where are you on this in this continuum of opportunity? Are you going to sit back and just watch it and ignore it, or worse, hide from it? Because hiding from it did not work so well for Blockbuster, did it? Rather, what I would do is be smart and be thinking about it. So there's a couple questions that I would want to ask myself if I were in business and dealing with these two companies. The first question I'd want to ask is, what business am I in? Because I think if you ask Blockbuster that, they were in the movie rental business. And probably even more specifically in the VHS movie rental business. And then obviously they got into DVDs, and then towards the end they even got into renting video games a little bit, and then they got into the online subscription a little bit. But at their core, they were a video movie rental business. And I don't think it was big enough. So then the next question becomes, what business are you really in? And there the question becomes, we're in the entertainment business. So if I'm Blockbuster, I should have been in the business of providing at-home entertainment. Imagine how bigger your view on the world would be if you're in the at-home entertainment business. How many more opportunities you might have. And then the even more important question is, what business should you be in? Because as we sit here looking at something like Netflix as an example, they've got a great business of renting online movies, downloadable online movies. But are they really looking at themselves as an entertainment business? Because look at Amazon Prime by contrast. I can rent a movie. I can rent my favorite episode of The Bachelor. I can download books to read, whether it be print or audio. So now all of a sudden we've got Amazon Prime, who really is in the at-home entertainment business, and Netflix might not be. And it's possible Netflix gets left behind in this process. I don't know, time will tell. So the question that I would have is, if I'm a dental supplier, distributor, or I'm a dental manufacturer, what business am I really in? Am I in the business of providing my clients cotton rolls, gloves, and impression material? Because if that's the scope of my work, I might be in trouble. Or maybe conversely, maybe I'm in the business of providing equipment supplies to my dentists. Better step. but are we really providing enough value? And so whether you're a dentist or a dental distributor, I think the same is true. So let's look at the dental office as an example. What business am I in? If I ask most dentists that, they're going to say, I'm in the business of fixing teeth. And I'm, of course, exaggerating and be a little bit silly here, but I'm in the business of getting patients out of pain. I'm in the business of restoring teeth, whatever it might be. If I ask them what business they're really in, they're like, well, on second thought, I guess I do preventative work. We do health screenings, like oral cancer screenings. We do repair teeth. We do some cosmetic work. So I guess really the business I'm in is, looking at oral health for an entire patient. Better answer. But even bigger than that, what business should I really be in? If now I'm looking at it going, man, maybe I'm in the transformation business. I'm in the business of transforming health and confidence through improving your oral health and appearance. Because let's face it, if you get a cosmetic smile makeover, man, that'll take like 10 years off of your face and the way you look. But if I'm in the business of just fixing a tooth in the back and I'm not looking at the smile and how I can transform somebody's life through that, how many opportunities do I really miss? And I think their answer is, I miss a lot. So I would be looking at my dental office going, what business am I really in? Do I offer Botox? Do I do orthodontic? Do I do implant, tooth replacement business as opposed to just tooth repair business? What really is the scope and breadth of my business? And most importantly, how inspiring is it? If it's not inspiring to you and to your team, how inspiring will it be to your patients? And from a marketing perspective, I think if you're not inspiring, you're in trouble. The next question becomes, if I look at this merger between these companies, and as I look at other companies as well, is I want to know what partnerships, what strategic partnerships can I put in place? So as an example, let's assume I'm the owner of a dental office, and right now I just kind of have my eyes right here in this little patient's mouth, and I'm really not worried about what's going on with Sirona. I don't care. But instead, all of a sudden, I start looking around the world to see what's going on. And perhaps I start to realize that corporate dentistry is starting to come in. Dental PPOs are starting to cut into my profits. Now if all of a sudden I start looking at what strategic partnerships can I put in place to better bolster and provide a longer and more healthier future for my business, we start thinking differently. Because now maybe what we start doing is going, hey, I don't really like these dental insurances, what they're doing to my business. What if, and I realize only 48% of Americans don't even have dental insurance. So what if I were to offer an oral health plan to my patients, one that is funded in office, gets them a discount on their restorative services, helps cover their preventative? How much value do I add to all my patients in that case, or at least 48% that might not have insurance? And what kind of a marketing story can I spin around that? So now all of a sudden I need to find a good partner to help me do this, or maybe I just find a good partner to help me design it, and then I do it in-house. Similarly, it's funny to look at your distributor reps, because lots of times people just think they sell them things. And in all honesty, some reps, that's all they do is just sell you things. They're not bringing enough value to you. But the ones that are, man, maybe now you're sitting around thinking about business going, I think I need an associate doctor. I wonder if my distributor rep might know of somebody who'd be looking. And now all of a sudden you can have a conversation with that person about partnerships and about bringing in an associate, maybe new employees, maybe new products, technologies. It's amazing how if you start looking at the people around you and see partnerships rather than just an adversary, I got to pay the bill, it frustrates me, all they do is sell me stuff. There's no value there, and rightfully no value there if that's how you view it. The same with your lab person. Similarly, it's funny, I've had instances where I've gone into offices, especially back in my early days, and maybe when I was an early salesperson, I wasn't treated really well. What's funny to me about that is I think of some of the doctors like I know here in Colorado Springs that I have referred so many patients to, thousands and thousands of dollars of dentistry that I've referred to them, because in my line of business, as I go around to some town and I tell people what I do, what do you think the first question is they ask me? Hey, who's the best dentist in town? What do you think the question is your Patterson rep gets, your lab guy gets? All of these people around you, what do you think the first question is all these people get? Who's the best dentist in town? And if you haven't treated them well because you just don't happen to be, they're not a client of yours and you're not a client of theirs and you don't like them, guess what that does to your business? It does no good. So imagine by contrast, if we look at every single person around us as some sort of a partner who can bring value, sorry, CDOT was driving by, who can bring value to your business and can refer patients to you, how differently do we look at all these people? And I think it's important that we contemplate stuff like that. Who can be a good partner for you in your business that can bring additional value other than just selling you stuff, just a marketing plan, just a website? They might have so much expertise that if you don't ask better quality questions, you won't get better quality answers. So I think the real key to that is to start contemplating, what better questions can I ask of myself? What better questions can I ask of the people around me? Because if you start asking those questions, I think what you're going to find is better quality answers. The quality of your question is going to dictate the quality of your answer, which is going to dictate the quality of your life. There's no doubt in my mind. So ask yourself these 3 questions again. What business am I in? What business am I really in? And what business should I be in? And if you really want to be a partner with those people around you, ask them those questions. Imagine if you sat down with your distributor rep or your lab guy and said, hey, what business are you in? What business should you be in? And what business are you really in? And then what business should you really be in? I think you might have them scratching their heads going, wow, I've never thought of it this way. And now if you start asking them questions that gets them thinking at a higher level, what are the odds that they start referring more to you? Because I believe the key to life is to add more value to everybody around you than anybody else can. If you are always approaching everyone around you as, I want to add more value to your life than anybody else, I'm quite certain the economics will always work themselves out. I'm quite certain you'll have people who are passionate about what you do and being a part of your life and wanting to follow you. Kind of reminds me of the Forrest Gump running scene, right? He takes off running and he runs across the country and then runs back, and by the end he's just got like hundreds and hundreds of people following him, and they're all just, I don't know what value he's adding, but they're all so excited to be part of a movement. Imagine the movement you could create around yourself, and imagine the momentum and the business growth that would follow you if you start a movement around yourself. Because I assure you, Sirona and Dentsply, they're planning to start a movement around themselves, and they're going to have thousands and thousands of dentists who follow them. Question for you, are you starting a movement for yourself? Because I believe if you start a movement for yourself, you can move an entire mountain. You can move an entire industry. It gives you every opportunity in the world to do that, and imagine what could be done if you decide to get that fired up that you want to move an entire mountain. With that, I'm going to sign off. I'll leave you with a view of the mountain that you could possibly move yourself or hike up or whatever metaphor you want to use. But imagine that. Start dreaming bigger about what it is you could do and the impact you could have on everybody around you if you add more value than anybody else. I look forward to seeing you next week, 8 o'clock Mountain, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Until then, enjoy the view. Have a great day.